In the Buddhist context, we have this so-called the 9-point meditation on death. Have you guys done that? Those contemplations are very important. Actually, basis of which practice and Vajrayana, not to mention Dharma, spirituality in general. We usually don't go into those things, basic, but very, very important, actually. Without that, we cannot generate or we cannot cultivate a genuine motivation. It's nice to do as a motivation. This 9 points is 3 points. Then each point has a 3 section of it. So death is definite, certain. So everybody will face death, definitely, sooner or later, right? Then time of the death is not certain, not sure when death will come. We know, we looked around, your families or your friends, colleagues, all of a sudden passed away and so forth. So this time we don't know, although we know that for sure we will die. The third one is at the time of the death, what will help. So that come to in the context of Buddhist practice, that was one of those things I really want to contemplate. At the time of the death, what will help? Of course, you have a lovely friendship with your friend or your families and lots of things you have in a possession or friends or whom or what you love. But then we have to leave everything behind at the time of death, no? So I think it's good time to time we come back to this basic and yet vital meditation on death. So having said that, this lady who was doing the podcast talks about the top 5 things to regret, because she was working as a hospice. So she heard a lot about people at deathbed tell her, oh, I wish I had been this way or that way. What do you think? Or maybe you just reflecting on yours. We don't know. Tomorrow or week after or month after, maybe year or 2 years, the time comes. What would you regret? What do you think you will regret?
I've always said for years that what I wanted to be able to say at my deathbed was that I had loved well. And I think what's happening though is that my understanding of what loving well means has changed. And it's less psychological and less defined by family and friends even, and more informed by Dharma and the whole understanding of leaving home and of bodhicitta. So it's changed. And one of the things that I think about, there was a book written by a physician who had cancer and he had it twice. One of the things he said is, I did everything that I recommended in my first book, except I didn't slow down. I kept pushing. And I guess I think of that also in the context of Dharma practice. Like if I keep pushing and don't make time for practice, I will regret that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's nice. Just for reference, so this lady talks about the top 5 regrets of the dying. First one is, I wish I had a courage. You know, it comes to this courage or fearlessness to live a life true to myself. No, not the life others expected of me. We are kind of defined by the society or families or whatever. Then I think we do more spiritual practice. If I connect to the spiritual practice or Dharma practice, then we have more fearlessness. We had more courage to be myself because confidence builds up. So no matter how other people view us. So that was the first one. Then the second one interesting because it's related to what you said. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Yeah, I think in the modern context, just working hard seems to define the meaning of life at the time of death, on the deathbed. Damn, I wish I had more things to collect. Never thought about that.
Well, my first thought was regretting having wasted time, but at the same time, like the importance of slowing down and not trying to do so much with our time. I suppose it's really a matter of making the time that we do have meaningful.
Okay, that's nice. So this lady said one of the things, I wish that I had let myself be happier. What do you think about this one? Chew on it. Even spiritual practice, beating yourself to get something done, or even the hardship, can you find the joy?
Yeah, for me, it speaks in terms of kind of more being and being present and less striving. And less striving even in spiritual practice, that it is the very moment and just the beingness, because everything is there.
It's nice being a moment. It requires quite a courage to fearlessness, not doing. But it's kind of important. This is not about feeling upset or death is coming, kind of gloomy. On contrary, how to make our life meaningful, how to live every moment meaningful and joyful, perhaps, and purposeful way. Yeah, you have every possibility to make your life meaningful and beneficial and positive. So in order to recognize that, this kind of meditation is very useful, I think. Just one more thing, the third one is that I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Yeah, that one. I'm working on it. Yeah, express my feeling. Feeling, if I use my terminology or my way of saying, connect to our body and the subtle body, really rest, connect to the feeling and what's here, connect to the energy, and which does not come from the head. Kind of inner wisdom, connect to the inner wisdom and feeling. Then express that. Have a courage to express to both oneself and maybe people across around you and to the world. Love, compassion. Take a moment again, coming back to these questions. How can I live life without regret? Always it's nice to conclude practice with a positive, optimistic thought. Because each of us has everything, no? Very optimistic, very positive. We have every possibilities, opportunities to make our lives meaningful for ourselves and all beings, beneficial to bring happiness and joy to all beings. So just take a moment, just 1 minute, see if you can bathe in that ocean of your energy qualities. It said even tiny activities, whatever insignificance activities we done, we actually did quite a bit of significant activity, not insignificant. Then if we dedicate that to this, the highest aspiration, and the ocean of that aspiration, then it's not gonna dry up, drop of the goodness coming from our practice if we dedicate to the highest, deepest, most profound aspiration, then it won't disappear, merge into the ocean of awakening.